We're live. We're on. Well,
Nothing
welcome,
on
Bear.
that.
Hi, Bear.
Hello, Barnes.
How are
Welcome to
you?
our first ever
I know,
podcast.
exciting times.
Very exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting times. Cheers.
Cheers. And this is the first piece of exciting news, is that we have Guinness on tap in the Oxford Downs Clubhouse. And as a connoisseur of Guinness over the country, over the world, I can tell you this is the best pint of Guinness I have ever had, and that includes right outside the gates of the brewery in Dublin. So well done. Let's keep it like that all season. It's not going to do my waistline any good, though, Barnes.
No, nor the Jaffa Cakes,
The
Rocky Road, the Jammy
no,
Dodgers.
exactly. All those things.
and
are
all
gonna
the
be
other
bad.
things.
Sorry, Mrs. Bear, but I need bigger clothes, please. Thank you. Right, so here we are. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do with our exciting podcast this
Well,
season?
I don't know. I think you've got loads of stuff written on your pad, Bear, which is quite exciting because I can't read it. One, because it's too far away.
The good
so
news is I can't
your
read my writing either because it's pretty legible. But so this is obviously 16 listeners
16.
and watchers. Please bear with us. We're going to be sucking this as we see, if you pardon the terminology, and we're going to be letting this evolve as an event until we've got it absolutely honed in. So there's going to be one or two teething errors. Barnes is probably going to swear a lot. I will be immaculate as always. But the general idea is that we're going to be promoting cricket and the club and everything that's good about our sport that we love so much. And what we want to do is to involve all the teams in the club, all the supporters, and the opposition as well. We'd like to have representatives from the opposition here to be interviewed. We won't be nasty, but we're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be doing, I think predominantly it's going to be on a Monday evening, so we'll have a review of the previous weekend's cricket, and some, if we've had some great performances, like Barnes has been guesting again for the first 11 and is unplayable. We'll have some interviews of players that have done something quite good the weekend before, and that will be quite exciting, I hope.
Unplayable.
Yeah, we'll also be we'll be putting people on the spot, asking tricky questions, and we might even get an umpire in to ask them about any changes in the laws, etc., etc. There's normally a change or two in the laws. But in general, it's going to be an exciting time. We've got one or two ideas what we can do this evening. And we've got the first 11 captain, who we're going to do a little bit of an interview. Well, you call it an interview. It's really going to be putting him on the spot with a load of silly questions that might actually mean his relationship breaks down as a result. But and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on Barnes with my questions, because we did the same thing independently, sitting working hard in the office this afternoon, pretending I did chart it to clients, so don't worry about that. So we're going to be doing that later on, and we're going to talk you through the plans that Oxford Downs have. We're going to tell you about our lovely new nets, which apparently are like an absolute shirt front, and if you can't bat on those, you're not going to be able to bat on anything. Apparently that's what, that's what the first team captain said, as he was skittled for the 15th time in 20 balls.
Could he see?
Yeah, so Barnes,
Yes.
where do you want to crack off to that?
Well, I think the main point is that I'm really quite excited about this, and I listen to a lot of podcasts as I drive around the country day in, day out, and there's not much for sort of the amateur cricket. There's a little bit of amateur rugby stuff, so just think we have a lot of fun on Saturdays, don't we?
We do
get a
definitely.
bit of interesting feedback, but it's mainly fun, and I think it's really important that we try and bring a bit of fun, because every time we go to the paper, it's bloody misery everywhere you go. And I think that the big cricketing world out there, there's a lot of unsung heroes, a lot of clubs that maybe need some fundraising because something's happened to the pavilion. And I think if we can get as many viewers as we can and get across as many cricket clubs as we can, try and bring some fun, some laughter, get their really good funny stories, because the amount of stories we get in our strange little weird cricket club, there's got to be millions of them. So somebody like Nick Pykiff in Tiddington can sit here and tell us stories all day long, and I think it's really important that we open this up to all the clubs, and like you said, the captains on a Saturday that come here, come and sit in the box as long as they bring chocolate or sweets.
Rocky Road, Jammy Dodgers, and Wagon Wheels.
Jaffa Cakes.
The Jaffa Cakes as well. That's quite important as well.
So I really like the idea of other clubs reaching out to us, and then just keep trying to involve the Bear and Barnes.
We are very lucky here. We have our producer and general guru of everything scientific and technical, and that is Matt, sitting behind lots of screens and a pile of wires, which I have no idea what they are. But he has turned what is just basically a live stream into something that could be quite good fun. It may not involve us, but in spite of us, it's good fun, and we hope that if we can inspire other clubs to do this, it makes it so much more enjoyable if someone can't make the game to actually hear a little bit of banter, a little bit of.
First team captain's just tucking into his second pint of Guinness after being on the smash in Cardiff all weekend.
I know, it's apparently Cardiff's a wonderful place to go out, but you'll probably get asked that later on. Yeah, so if we can inspire other clubs to get similar setups to this, I think that it will just, more and more people will have accessibility to cricket and be able to watch it. I know, for instance, my sad old mum, she may even be watching this, I don't know, but she actually listens to us on a Saturday.
Oh, that's great.
Even though she's not necessarily watching the cricket, because if she's there to watch Freddie, it won't take long. So
I think we're waffling now, aren't we?
I know we are waffling.
Matt, just quickly, how did the theme tune come out? Because obviously we can't hear it.
Yeah, no, it came out brilliantly.
Good.
We have a
I'd like
theme
to get a bit
tune.
of feedback on the theme tune.
Yes, well, we had lots of ideas about what the theme tune might be, and I can't remember which one we chose, but I'm sure it was very good.
Terry and June.
Oh, that one, yes.
Very good indeed.
Am I Terry, and are you Terry?
Don't know.
If you want to get a blonde rinse, I can.
Yeah, not a problem. That'd be good.
Is it June Whitfield?
Yes, that's right.
June
very
Whitfield
good.
and Terry Scott.
Very good.
Yes,
Good
no, June
knowledge.
Whitfield, yes.
That's not in the first quiz.
Is it not? Okay, brilliant.
Right, do you want to bash off with a bit more information, or should we get the first team captain?
Well, I'd have thought before he gets incoherently drunk on his 15th pint of Guinness, I think we probably ought to get some thoughts about the season to come.
We've lost a view already.
Oh, no, sorry about that. But we've got marginally more viewers than Adele has got at the moment, but then Adele is fast asleep because she's in Australia at the moment.
How do you know that?
I don't know, I stalk her. But no.
Okay.
So anyway,
Interesting.
obviously we've got an exciting season coming up. Our league looks very different teams-wise than it did last year. There have been people going up, people going down, and it's really quite exciting. Lots of ups and downs. I don't think we've had Gerrard's Cross to play against before for a long time. So that'll be a new bunch of players that'll be exciting.
They'll be fuming by the time they get here.
Absolutely. Extremely cross. Right, so do we get our captain in? Do you think so? Is it time to have our guest?
I'm not sure we've got a runner. He's in the green room
Are we
somewhere.
peaking too early to have our first team captain? He will hobble over here because apparently he's got a bit of a knee problem, but none of the
got
other
white
teams are
socks
supposed to
on
know
there as
that.
well, which is
He'll
not
still be charging in and bowling unplayable deliveries when he has to. But anyway, let's get him in.
Should we be upstanding?
No, because Mike shows my tummy. That's not very good.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
So, welcome, Tom. Come in. Is there room for you here?
I'll squeeze.
Hello, Captain Cockles.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Have you got to
Show that after one sip.
Matt, has he got to use this?
Yeah, we've only got 2 lines.
You got to turn it on like that?
Yeah.
Can I interview him like this, like I'm... Right, Cockles.
Right, so should we start with some of the technical issues going on? So would you like to talk about personnel that we've had that have gone elsewhere and personnel that we have acquired? So this is at the top end of the club. I know this is possibly a bit rude, but everything has an effect on the rest of the club. But let's just start at the top end. Who we had that might be potential first teamers leave and potential first teamers to come in?
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a... Sound like my granddad then, didn't I? Yeah. It's been a bit of a busy one, actually, for us, which is quite strange, because in the last few years we might have had one player come in or one player leave, whereas this season, sadly, we've lost a few, which is going to impact the team, but we've also gained a few. Yeah, so the ones that we've lost are Gus Miller, who obviously is contracted with Northants.
Yeah, living the dream. No, he's living the dream. He's got all the stash and he
Kid's a nightmare.
looks to work.
No,
luck
he
to
was,
him.
he
Good
was a
luck to
great
him.
lad
Yeah.
and obviously a very good cricketer, but for obvious reasons he's going to play cricket club-wise closer to Northants, so we completely understand that. We've also lost George Sambach for the majority of the season.
And it's not true, is it, that it's just because he's under the thumb and isn't allowed to play cricket anymore, is it?
I couldn't possibly comment about that.
No, because I think Eric's released a little bit of that.
Has it? He has?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is important to share.
And then another one in Prav who is currently in
Another one
Australia.
Prav.
And has decided to go elsewhere to another club, so for his own reasons. So, good luck to him. I hope it goes well, and we'll always invite him back.
Yes.
He'll have plenty of money to buy us all a drink.
Never burn the bridges on the players you want to come back.
No, of course not.
Because this is the best club in the county,
Wow.
or the country, and possibly the world.
I think you could be right, Bear. Can Bear have another drink or an injection to calm him down or something?
Oh, this is me, Carl, getting more
So
excited.
they're the players out.
Yep.
If you missed anybody that's going to get really upset and send you a nasty text that you haven't forgotten somebody.
If I have, then I should probably be sacked as first team skipper.
Well, there's a chance of that anyway.
Can I just ask about George? Because obviously the other two are sort of fait accompli, but has George been signed on just in case we have an incredible emergency and we don't want to lose Barnes from the commentary box onto the first team pitch, that he might get called up in an emergency?
Yeah, George is well, everyone who's in and around the club knows George. He would be Mr. Jazz Hat in my eyes.
Yeah, I was called that in my day.
I should think that if we asked George to come and play, he's the type of bloke that would. No, thank you, Matt. He'd be the type of bloke who would, of course, come and help us out. But he has made himself available for VKO fixtures.
Fantastic.
Which is obviously a big plus for us because he is obviously a fantastic player, and the VKOs are very important to us.
Yeah, he might find that he misses it. You never know. It has been known.
Yeah, you never know.
Great loss, though. I like watching George play cricket.
It's always entertaining. And you're always in with a chance as a fielding side when George is batting, I feel. Brilliant. Especially if he's batting with big Tom Cosford. There's always a bit of entertainment there.
Well, he has more wickets than any other opposition against us who will run out and score so much. There's no one to keep up with him.
But he's also very interesting to watch in the field because I remember, I think it was Harefield away at the start of last season. And I was at the top of my mark and I looked over to George, who was out on the boundary, because he's a very quick runner, great fielder, great arm, good safe hands. And I look out to the fielder, look out to George out the field. And he's looking up to the tree, just sort of like hands on hips, just looking up. And I was like, what on earth is going on? We're about to run in.
He's quite close to Heathrow, so he's probably chucking bread at helicopters.
He's just staring up at the tree, and I just thought, I think we need to add some entertainment to the game because George, we've lost George.
I remember that pitch at Harefield because I do think I sat on a bench and it collapsed.
I wonder why.
It wasn't like, I think the bench was clearly rotten. It was only doing my weight.
Did you do risk assessment before you? I mean, we played in that pre-season friendly because somebody was off in hospital because his wife was having a baby at Shallow.
Yes,
and George was kicking a vape, wasn't he, from point to gully?
Yeah.
And then when you put George out deep, the whole thing carried on. Freddie Smith was involved in that reckless behaviour as well.
Well, he learned all that sort of stuff from his mother, can I just say?
That was the coldest day of cricket I've ever played.
Anyway, so on to players coming in.
Yes, coming in. So we've luckily got a very good cricketer from the Thames Valley League who has decided to come over to us. He used to play with Jimmy Lauder, who's the second team captain. He used to play with him at his old club and has decided to come over and play cricket for us. His name is Tom Ettridge. He's a lovely, lovely young lad who has committed to the whole season. Well, he had committed to the whole season before Eric and I met up with him in a pub pre-season to talk about kits and this, that and other, and he went, I've just got a new job at a school in Shrewsbury, by the way. So I can't make training.
Not Shrewsbury School?
I think it is. I think it is, yeah.
Sorry, I love everyone that went to Shrewsbury.
I think it is, yeah. So, but no, he'll be a great addition to the team. He really will. He's a bowler that can do all sorts with it.
Can I just say that Katie said that he was a teaching assistant at school for 1 year and he was an absolutely delightful young chap.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, no, he's very, very, very well brought up and by all accounts.
By the time that September
well, I'm sure that Freddie will take him under his wing and discuss fruit-flavoured cider with him, and before the end of the season he'll
Which
be
I was very
connoisseur.
disappointed to see that he was still drinking it in Cardiff.
Well, you know,
I had a word with him. I did say, I thought you learnt your
his
lesson.
drinking habits have got absolutely nothing to do with me, I can assure you.
Is that Katie?
It's disappointing. Yes, she's taught him all that.
And obviously the other one, who that's lovely, is our overseas. We shall just call him David because his surname is
that because his name
is difficult to pronounce.
I think you need to get his name right before you've had too much Guinness, because it could.
I would just
make a terrible mistake.
Or something like that.
David Price.
Sheer wrote, yeah. But anyway, he is obviously a long time in the making.
Yeah, apparently he was 12 when we first asked him to come over. Is that right?
Yeah, he's now 73. Yeah.
The good thing about it is his first name is relatively easy for me and you on a Saturday.
It is. Yes. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we can do that.
It would have been much harder.
And he's a left-arm spinner.
He's left-arm spinner, which is something that we have looked for in the last couple of years, is to get a spinner over. Obviously, it hasn't worked out for different reasons, and especially last year was very frustrating for I'd say the club.
So that's going to be particularly helpful in the red ball game where teams are potentially blocking out, and we need to sort of get people around the bat and get bowling rippers and that sort of stuff.
Exactly, yeah. I'll have to have a word with the groundsman and see if we can get a couple of them.
He got 60 wickets for his club and won the league tournament back in February, so give it a long handle.
Exactly, yeah. So he's come off the back of a great season. There you go, look, you can see him there. Probably going to blend down one well. So he's come from a very lucrative season.
That was a big day. No, this is when he first started to play, when he was 12. So it's just, This is why the producers get the big butt, not the presenters. Tom Jimmy, nothing at all. He gets big butts as a producer. He's had a catch bum all over.
The keepers get a lot of good things, I think.
Sterling away, bat and ball, which is really, really good. Do we know if he's a drinker?
Well, he's single, so I presume Eric will probably look after him.
Right, okay.
So you won't have a choice in
So
the matter.
what happens in the second week he's in the UK?
Well, I was just going to say, what happens after pint 2 then, when Eric's fast asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very, very valid point.
He's senior drinker now, we're fine.
And also we mentioned when we had some little get together last week that there are people coming up for the club, and possibly Henry Welch might be getting close to the first team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, there's
Quite promising young player.
Yeah, lots of youngsters that are coming up and through. Your other son, your third one, obviously.
Oh yeah, the third one.
Yeah, Gav, who obviously has struggled in the last couple of years with injuries and this, that, and other, who will, I hope, push for a first team spot. And there's a couple of other young lads that have joined, who I'm hoping are gonna push those spots, because that's what we need to be successful as a club. Is not just a strong first team, but strong 2s, 3s, and 4s to put pressure on those.
It's always difficult not to push a spot, I find, don't you?
It's a very inappropriate joke.
My
My mother's watching this.
That does remind me of a
this.
Rowan Atkinson sketch from Not the 9 o'clock news.
Now we're
But that we're going back a few years then. But
Cricket's boring anyway. They're talking about it all Monday night. Go on, then.
right. So what about the new teams in your league? What do you know about them?
Gerrard's Cross.
Yes,
I
what do you know about Gerrard's
very
Cross?
little about.
Nice golf course.
Yeah, and I played hockey against them. He's a good hockey club as well.
All I know that it's out Amersham, Chesham way.
It's very. It's,
Came up from Thames Valley.
if you own a house there, then you're probably quite well off. That's all you need to know. Very wealthy area.
You've got a couple barrels.
Well, no, just one. Just
Still
buy
renting those
to let. Bit of buy to let. So no, Mrs. Bear doesn't know about that.
Airbnb. Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. So Oxford, we're looking forward to having Oxford back down to give them the.
And I'm very much looking forward to having Oxford back in the league, just because that means that we get to play against some very good cricketers at a very nice ground. So it should be a good game, as it always is against them. It's not far. It's not far to travel.
From what I've seen of that pitch, that will suit our
That
left
will
arm
very
spinner,
much
because it is
suit him.
definitely a dust bowl.
And we can do with 10 more spinners.
Yeah.
On that deck, so no, that'll be an interesting game. It's always competitive
They've
against
got
Oxford. Shall I
Alex
say?
Chapman off season, I understand, on the grapevine.
Oh, really?
Yep. So
Interesting.
there's been one or two checkbook transactions happening at Oxford Cricket Club.
What are you trying to say? One good thing is good on the environment, so I've got to travel far.
Well, exactly.
On my green credentials.
Well, I've got an eco car, so I'll be all
But
right.
that is now a genuine derby. I think it's more of a derby than anyone else we play against.
It's more of a derby than
against
Swansea,
Oxford.
Cardiff.
Stanton Harcourt.
Yeah, well, yes,
Not to be
there is,
underestimated
yes,
there at
no.
this stage.
I know, I'm torn, obviously, being a Stanton Harcourt person.
Exactly, yeah. Grew up
You
born
know,
and bred,
yeah.
Stanton Harcourt.
Well, not really.
Could be a
but-
Dufflington.
No, but
Dufflington
I
versus.
was,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I can't read, but I can bend bars.
Well, that's okay. And who else we got? Buckingham. So Buckingham basically didn't have Shane Shilling for bowling for them last season. Otherwise they'd have come down in the season before, probably. And he's not playing again this year. But they have. My inside man, who, as you know, Steve Beck is my manager at work. He says they've got an ex-Northants pro playing for them this year. Don't know what he does, but
Is he the kit man?
we're not going to make any jokes about Northamptonshire County Council
No.
in this particular podcast after all the trouble we got into last time.
Oh, yes. No, I do remember. Yeah. We shan't go into that anyway, yeah. So, yeah, Buckingham will be a...
Sorry, producer's just giving it the...
Yeah.
Different county council, I'll be fine.
Buckingham are always a good team. We've had some cracking games against them, actually. The last one not being the second team derby of the final day of the season last year, which was a great game.
We should have won that game. We should have won that game.
I mean, the first team did everything they could to get the game over and done with in Chesham and get back.
Yeah.
And I think we were just arriving as the last ball was bowled.
Honestly, we had that game won for almost all of it until the time we lost it. It's just really...
Yeah, mate.
But that shows that we're knocking on the door, and it's important for the second team. If we want to get promoted, we need the second team in Cherwell League Div 1, don't we?
Yes.
And they're looking quite strong. And Jimmy Lauder, I believe he's watching. Hello,
And well,
Katie.
get well soon.
Yeah,
Get well
well,
soon.
well,
And
very
congratulations, by the way, on a little one.
March 5th. Baby Zara was born, so I just wondered if I have a boy, whether or not we're going to call it Tins or not. Interested, but he didn't answer that. But, sorry you can't be with us, Lord, so you'll be in the next shout, hopefully. You'll come along and fill us with the wisdom and talk about the twos, but they do look strong this year, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Just James Lord has given us some very important information. Tom Ettridge is working at Wrekin College, which is my old stamping ground. I lived in Wrekin for 1 year at the start of my life. So Wrekin is a hill, basically, that people climb up and down, and there's a school halfway up the hill called Wrekin. So that is very close to Shrewsbury School, and it is a long way away from here.
Yes.
But that's neither here nor there. He's probably got a car. He's probably learned to drive, which is something that Freddie Bear hasn't done yet.
Because Freddie's not always over the limit.
He's announced he wants to drive an automatic, but I don't see the point in that. Anyway.
It's like a go-kart.
Yes, exactly.
Cheating.
So hopefully he will be commuting backwards and forwards.
Have we got any other questions or anything? Any comments from anyone on there about?
No, Paul Fowler's made some comment about Eric on the
Just ignore
toilet,
that.
so I think we'll ignore that. Where's Eric? Lawrence wants to know. Well, he's behind the camera, Lawrence, because he's not allowed in front of the critics. He's too damn good looking, and we only want real ugly boys in front of the camera.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm trying to say we're ugly, but it's okay. I've dressed it up quite nicely. But Eric will just detract from the main stars of the show, and we can't have that. That's all we've got so far.
Is it?
We're up to 27 watchers, which is very exciting. So I think you've got a little quiz that you want to ask our captain.
Well, I think so. I just think every guest we get is to have a quick fire quiz. You've got to say the first thing that
comes into your head.
You're not allowed to think about it.
I'm going to be doing this to Barnes later on.
Are you?
So yes, I am. Yes.
Right.
So,
are you ready?
How many are
There's a few.
There's a few.
Right.
Yes.
It'll only take
So
about-
first thing that comes to my head.
No,
First thing comes to your head, as long as it's not a swear word or something derogatory,
Every time we say something
or
really daft, I'm going to bout you.
anything that might upset any of our some of our
Yeah, but
listeners.
you know how much of an idiot I am.
Yeah, there is that.
Right.
Ready?
Yeah, hit me. Not literally.
Very first cricket in memory as a kid growing up.
Playing in the background with my granddad.
First cricket hero. Can't say Bear because I know that'd be the stock answer for everybody here.
Flintoff.
Freddie Flintoff. Good. Biggest influence on your career so far?
Who has had?
Yeah.
Probably Woodsy, actually.
Woodsy?
Woodsy. Yeah, because I
I
spent
wasn't
years
expecting that.
years with him at county cricket
Woodsy,
and stuff.
are you
And
watching
obviously
this?
been at a club with him. It's
Are
been
you watching this, Woodsy?
Probably explains why you're a bit weird.
Yeah.
What would you do? Rather bat or bowl?
Bat.
Favourite position?
Position I'm allowed to put her in.
Good answer. Funniest cricketing teammate?
Maggot.
Loosest cricket teammate?
Eric.
So obvious. Favourite current girlfriend?
Her.
Favourite position? I've asked you that.
You've
sorry.
asked, you can't ask that again.
Favourite other sport?
Rugby.
Good man. Favourite ice cream? That's from my daughter-in-law. So
Favourite ice cream?
Favourite ice cream?
I like a Calippo.
Like that.
Was that a nice lolly?
Clippo
Either or,
Rabiero.
we'll just go with it. It's fine. Longest in the shower?
Ooh. Me.
Oh, that's really bad.
It is.
No, I can't wait for the first
Unless you have to
fine
play with-
session. Will,
unless you
make
have to
sure.
play with Curtly Ambrose.
Biggest tart? Okay. Okay. Best sandwich and cake that should be in every cricketing tea?
Caramel shortbread.
Favourite sandwich?
Tuna cucumber.
You're making these questions up now, or
No, no, no. If you're on a 4-hour bus journey, no phones, no videos, anything at all, who would you want to sit next to on the bus that's in your team?
Wool.
Okay. Club's biggest unsung hero?
Matt Bowden.
It's pretty obvious. We're looking straight at him. Or his
Oh,
wonderful
no, we're
wife.
looking at lots of wires and a few screens. Can't really see.
Right, what are your personal ambitions for the season? Get fit
Get
for the rugby
promoted.
season,
Yeah,
I guess.
well, no, get fit for the cricket season to start with. Promotion. Promotion for the first team.
Okay, cool. And ambitions for the team and the club in the season?
I'd like to see the first. I'd like to see every team promoted or be in a promotion hunt. I mean, it's difficult when you've got certain teams that are doing well and then certain teams that aren't doing so well, and you've got sort of different ends of the table. Because you want to come back here and celebrate, your victories and stuff like that. And there's nothing better than coming back here and having 4 victories, for 14 on a Saturday. So I think every team to have a top half finish at the club would be great. To see more sort of new faces round and about, because it is great. It is a great club, and you get so many good people down here. And the problem is, it's such a small village that, you know, you compare us to clubs like Oxford, like Buckingham, which are big towns and cities and things like that, to be competing at the same level as them. I think that, you know, we probably deserve more recognition and more people to be able to come and watch the cricket down here.
So you've obviously predicted that we're going to come first or second.
That, Tom. That was very good, very insightful.
You've obviously predicted we're going to come first or second in this league. Who do you think our biggest threats are? Looking at, this is our league, who do you think our biggest threats are this season?
Well, it's a difficult one because you never know who is going to... what squad teams are going to have. Because you can look at over the last few years and you'd always say that the teams that get relegated could be the strongest as well. But you look at the last couple of years, I mean, there's teams that have come down and then almost gone straight down again. So it all depends on who people have picked up. But there's always the likes of Amersham, Chesham are going to be up there. Brick Hill, I mean, they've always been our bogey team. And I don't know why. We always seem to finish around the same sort of position, mid-table, but we just can't seem to beat them, and it's really strange.
I think Loz Brock might have something to say about can't seem to beat them. But didn't he hit a 6 to win the game at Wake?
I don't know how many times that's been mentioned.
Was it?
I don't think it should be mentioned ever again.
Sorry about that.
Sam King has said good evening to us, by the way. So good evening, Sam.
Kinger.
Yeah.
That's what he's known as.
Looking forward to the season, which is fantastic. And the whipping boys are the. You'd like to think who are the whipping boys going to be? I fancy that Horsepath are going to have a hard season, personally.
I want to disassociate.
I don't know. This is
Sorry, Max. We'll have a few beers. Beers later in the season to discuss that.
It's a difficult question to answer because obviously we'll show the utmost respect to every team that turns up here because.
It's very difficult until you've sort of gone halfway through the season.
That's the thing,
to see where they're at, and you know some people might be much better at the shorter format than the longer format. It's
extremely confusing for me having two formats in one season.
Yes.
I mean, I find it difficult enough playing one format,
it's bad
but having two formats, I just don't know whether I'm coming or going. Thank goodness I've retired. Do you go for the Rocky Road or the Flapjack?
It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. You need two lots of kit. It's really difficult, isn't it?
Coloured pads.
Yeah, very difficult. I always find Great Brick Hill, I always end up in the same place, and that's right down that hill, because once I'm down there, I can't get back up.
Well, it could be worse. You could be the other side and end up at the zoo.
Tell us about the new nets. We've got the most fantastic nets out there, and I was joking slightly, you weren't out 15 times in 20 balls, but apparently they do a bit, is that right?
Yeah.
There's a bit in it for the seamers.
There is. I'm hoping it's just sort of that new thing that it might take a while to settle.
Yeah.
They need a cut, I think.
Well, I hope so, because Matt Warner the other week, he was bowling with a ball that genuinely was hitting side nets when it had pitched in line, which was a bit worrying. I did look at the seam and it was extremely pronounced, but I was out about, I think it was 2 or 3 times in the first couple of
To be fair, the pitches we're going to play on for the first month are going to be like that. So actually it's better than going straight out onto a pitch like that, having played on a shirt front of a net. And actually, so you're actually going out there expecting the ball to move sideways, so it might actually be a help.
It doesn't do great for the confidence though, Bear. That's the only problem. You walk in there feeling $1 million and walk out.
When you go out there, you haven't middled the ball all winter.
Yeah.
I
remember doing that actually in a VKO Cup match. I went into the nets after.
It's not the game when you nicked off and got caught second slip.
Yeah. I went into the nets just before Eric and I opened up, and I didn't hit one out the middle, and then I went out to bat with Eric and I was like, yeah, I feel great. And then I snicked off first ball to second slip and was convinced I didn't hit it. And then, strangely enough, got told off by the captain.
Matt, you'll be delighted to know things are going so well that they're actually talking to each other on the chat line and not listening to us at all.
It's like a dating service.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, yeah. But anyway, what a great facility, and well done to the club for getting that over the line. It's
fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it will make a massive difference.
We all know that the ridge in the old nets was extremely dangerous.
It was lethal. I mean, this one, there's no danger to life in this one, which is, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah, no, it's good. You just got to.
Having said that, we came from net yesterday, and Gus got Will straight in the Quinton, so there could be a danger to future.
I don't think that's got.
How was your batting?
I got pinged twice. Yes.
But I don't think Willsie's was anything to do with the nets. I thought it was probably the 3 days that he spent away
with the head of cricket.
With the head of cricket, yeah.
And obviously, I mentioned earlier before you sat down about the support we get from all the people, all the residents around us. That's absolutely crucial for this club, isn't it? And all the great things they do.
Yeah, definitely massively. I mean,
we love you all. With nothing better than everyone out there having a fantastic time, hopefully watching us win.
And there's so many good people that
Yeah.
come to the club and are involved in the club, and put their hand up whenever you ask for a hand with this or with that, to be able to reward them with hopefully a bit of cricket, from practicing in the nets and going out on Saturday. We'll
And
make
no
a massive difference.
vuvuzelas.
Let's hope not. I got in trouble last year for a comment I made.
Oh.
Shan't do that again.
Here we go.
Look
Okay.
nice and
Well, I think we've
we go.
exhausted enough. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
It's been
Well
an
done.
absolute pleasure, gents.
Yeah.
Nice to see
Take
you.
care.
Well
I'm
done.
sure I'll see you at
Thank
some
you.
point over the season.
Well, you might do, yes.
But,
You
enjoy
need
the
to
rest
turn
of
that
your
mic off just in case
rest of
you
your
say something.
podcast.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Matt.
So before I give Matt his quiz,
Word about it.
and we just want to, if you've got any ideas, listeners or watchers, about what you'd like to come up in the podcast, or even if you have something you feel so strongly about that you actually want to be interviewed here and put your thoughts forward, then we'd probably say no, but that doesn't matter. You can at least ask.
Well, I'm asking.
Because this is our show. In fact, it's not. It's Matt's show, and he's allowed us to present on it, which
There's
we're very, very honoured.
Formula One pit crew.
Nothing happens in this club
Formula One.
of a technical nature without Matt, and he is absolutely brilliant. And he's got that woman he lives with. She's quite good too.
She's very good.
She does a fair bit.
She was making bread yesterday.
Was she?
Yeah, we came for a net. There was a bread making course on in here.
Was there?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Raised a few,
And-
raised some dough.
Did you?
Much needed. Thanks ever so much.
A bit of dough,
Really,
yeah.
really good.
And what was the bread like? Who won that?
No, because it was then taken home to cook.
Oh right, so
Everybody
it was
was
just
leaving here with these little.
okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
very
So, but we must stress that we do want people from all. I mean, that includes Sunday. We want some Sunday players to come and get interviewed as well. Especially, what about the television stars? We have a new television star in our Sunday midst who's been on Clarkson's Farm. Perhaps he'd like to come and tell us about what it's like being an international superstar and things like that. Which is, I thought he was word perfect on Clarkson's Farm.
Danish didn't get a word wrong, did he?
He
Very
was
good.
absolutely perfect,
Oh,
and
boy.
even Jeremy thought he was brilliant. Apparently,
Jezza.
has offered him a contract for next season.
Has he?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Does it work for the
Brilliant.
council then?
But yeah, so anyone that wants to do, how do they do that, Matt? Do they get in touch with you if they want to be part of us? Right,
What do you
okay.
mean? That's my responsibility.
Well, that's your job now.
Right, okay.
Well done, congratulations. Right, Matt, let's do your
So,
quiz now.
my
So I've got this
quiz.
little quiz. Now, you know the rules. You've got to answer them questions very, very quickly, and don't incriminate yourself. Right.
Come on then.
Best player to play with or against ever.
Mark Ramprakash.
Fastest bowler faced.
Worst bloke I ever faced was Lester Smart.
Okay. Guinness or champagne?
Sure, crikey, that's a really toughie for me. I'm going to go Guinness.
Cricket or rugby?
Rugby.
Maggie Thatcher or Tony Blair?
You know the answer to that. Long live the old girl.
Dua Lipa or Lady Gaga?
I haven't got a clue. Who are they? Who do they play for? Are they Wasps players or coming through the academy at Gloucester or something?
Curry or Chinese?
Oh,
Don't
goody.
tell me you haven't got Dua Lipa on your Instagram
got a
account,
clue.
watching her in her jumpsuits on
I
tour.
haven't got a clue who she is, honestly.
Yeah,
Hand on
whatever.
heart.
Okay.
Hand on heart.
Curry or Chinese?
Tuffy, hot Chinese cold curry.
Harry Kane or Wayne Rooney?
Neither.
Swap shop or Tiswas?
Oh, swap shop.
Ooh, really?
Tizzles has been
What about
chaotic.
Sally James in her
chaotic.
denim waistcoat with nothing underneath?
Chaotic. I was too young for that.
Mars bar or Snickers?
Snickers.
Angela Merkel or Nicola Sturgeon?
Neither.
Worst way
What was
to
that for? Was that shooting practice or stick them in a driving range? Yeah.
Worst way to be out?
Run out without facing the ball.
Best way to be out?
Teeing off.
Caught on the long off
Yeah, head in
boundary,
the
playing
air,
with
wallet.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
Sticky toffee pudding or cheese and biscuits?
Cheese and biscuits.
Kate or Meghan?
Oh,
You can't say both at the same time,
no,
that's cheating.
definitely Kate. When he said cake, I thought it was cakes with it. I thought, oh, God.
Pool or darts?
Pool? What's pool?
Pool.
He's only like you're right.
Pool or darts? Pool or darts?
I'm no good at either. Probably darts.
Okay. Arsenal or Man City?
Shrewsbury.
For the Premier League title?
I think you've always got it wrapped up, but I hope something really bad happens to your manager because he's a tit.
All-time sporting hero?
Probably IT Botham. I guess.
Is the right answer. And the last and most important one, Bouncy castles or slides?
Depends who's supplying the bouncy castle. Clearly, if it's Pete the Heat, I'm all over that all day
It's
long.
definitely going to be Pete the Heat.
Yeah.
Well done, you got 100%.
Did I win?
You got 100%.
Thank you.
Well done, that's
I passed
fantastic.
on a couple there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, but I'll let you off that. And you could have elaborated on some of the answers, like, and don't tell me you don't know what Dua Lipa looks like. I'm sorry.
Got a clue.
I'm not having that. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I will check her out when I get home.
Okay, Matt, is there anything technical we need to do before we wrap up?
It's a wrap.
So,
Is there anything on there that we need to read out before? Because I don't want our adoring fans to...
Lost Brock wants to know where Eric is.
It's over there. We've done that one.
Done that. Sam King says evening. We've done that. Paul Fowler says I'm horribly drunk and I can't stand. No, he says hope you're on the mend, Sam. Sam King. So Paul and Sam are just talking to each other. It's pretty irrelevant, really. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Could that happen?
Carol-
It's like Grinder.
Caroline Shanks is loving the chat. I think that's what she said. Yeah, loving the chat. It's freezing with the sun going down.
This
And
reminds me of the two Ronnies.
Will Watts says, well done, Skip. Apparently Will's still hungover.
Yeah.
Is that true?
He's rotten. We got one straight.
Gus
at the
Watts.
freezing,
No, we've got the whole Watts family on
Okay,
there.
what have they got
Surprised you didn't say Diddy Weir Barnes for inspiration.
Doddy Weir.
Did he? Everyone are going to...
I'm still trying to work it out. Is she related to Dia Looper or whatever his name is? Yeah.
Anyway, so no, everyone else has gone to sleep. This has been
good
our
night
first
for me.
ever
It's good night for
podcast,
me.
it's,
Good
and
night.
we have been Bear or Barnes, and, depending on which way we sit round. And it's been fantastic
well done.
fun.
Let's
Well
do
done.
that. I'll sit on the telly.
Fantastic.
Boom.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.